evening and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Red Dragon Sports. I'm your host, Geoff Hassard, Assistant Director of Athletics and Sports Information Director here at SUNY Oneonta. And as we continue with our fall shows, tonight we're going to talk about field hockey. So please join me after the break where I'll be joined by head field hockey coach Kelly Kingsbury.
What makes D3 special is the ability to participate in my team and within the broader community.
The perfect ending to a perfect season.
Being a D3 student athlete has completely expanded my life.
I learned how to lead. I really found a voice.
What time is it?
It's more about the experience rather than just a sport itself.
Without the experience of being a Division III student athlete, I wouldn't be the person who I am today.
NCAA Division III. Discover, develop, dedicate.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is head field hockey coach Kelly Kingsbury. Welcome back to the show, Kelly.
Thanks, Geoff.
How are things going so far?
Going great.
Yeah.
Having a good start to our season. 7-2 right now.
Yep.
3-0 in the SUNY, so it's a good start.
3-0, and of course that included a win over Cortland, who last year we had two pretty exciting overtime games. We were really right there. So, I mean, did you think that game or those two particular games helped you this year maybe get by them? Or, I mean, of course, we probably might have to face them again in the SUNY tournament, but as far as getting that win in the regular season.
Yeah, I think there was definitely some bad feelings after those two games. Obviously, both of them were played at Cortland, so on that surface, and the regular season going into strokes, and then the championship going into overtime, definitely left a bad taste in our mouth. The girls wanted it so bad, and I was really happy for them. When they were finally able to do it, and it was, it's always, the last couple years, it's always been really back and forth between us, and it always just seems to fall their way, and it was due time for it to come our way. So.
Now, funny you mentioned surface, because of course now Cortland has like a field turf surface. Yep. We have the AstroTurf surface.
Yeah.
And there are still some SUNY schools, Brockport and Geneseo, that still play on grass.
Yeah, and Oswego as well.
And Oswego. How do you prepare for each of the three surfaces? I mean, how does it change what you do in preparation for games?
We're very lucky to have our AstroTurf surface. It definitely gives us a home advantage. Our speed and our stick skills are, top notch on the surface. So being able to go to a field turf, it just kind of slows the game down a little bit. I've noticed in the last few years we've gotten much better transitioning from the AstroTurf to the field turf. It's not as big of a transfer anymore to one field to the other. Going to grass, on the other hand, is levels all playing levels. So it's just any given Sunday on grass.
Right. Now, for us, I mean, of course, now when we schedule non-conference games, we look for just turf teams, field turf teams. I mean. Yeah, I mean, we'll play. I mean, not many Division IIIs anymore have the AstroTurf. William Smith, Hamilton, and ourselves are the only Division IIIs that have it in New York. So we play those schools, and those schools will reciprocate to us because we have the AstroTurf as well. So that gives us some good competition games, and because we play on the AstroTurf, we do have that advantage of having some AstroTurf away games as well. Right. We play those two schools. So now this season already, we said 7-2, receiving votes in the coaches poll. Every week we try to see if we're getting closer to getting into the top 20. But as we look in the top 20, I mean, of course, Rochester was in there for a week or so, and then William Smith and Skidmore are in there. And of course, William Smith, their only loss this year is to us. Yeah. How do you think those games prepare you for what comes after those? Yeah, I mean, the William Smith win is big for us, even if that's their only loss for the season so far, for our region, because at this point in our region, we only have two losses within region, Rochester and Skidmore, and within our region, Rochester now has lost to three other schools actually. So I think we kind of bump ahead of them in our region. So I'm pretty sure we're probably about second in our region right now or so. We haven't played everybody that's really competing for those spots, but I think we have a good shot to be up in our region, which really, after the SUNY tournament, that's all that matters for the big tournament. So now, year to year, when you build your schedule, do you look at the teams that are in like the final 8 in the tournament, or do you just try to figure out? Can you predict who might have a great season and say, hey, if we play them next year, that'll help us, or do you look at the teams that really are in the NCAA tournament every year?
I mean, I definitely tried to, I think our schedule strength is pretty good. Yeah. We play most of the Liberty League schools, which is a great conference in New York. SUNY is coming up. I think we're probably, a good conference for New York, and as far as strengthening people's schedules. But the teams that we play, there's a lot of them that are in the tournament, so I think that helps the strength. I mean, we're not playing the top 4 teams right now, but they're far away and they're in the NESCAC and things like that, so they're limited in their scheduling as well. So it's hard to branch out to those teams. But
now this year's squad certainly had a lot of players coming back. I mean, we had the Rookie of the Year in the conference, Andrea Day, come back, and we have some great goal scorers. I mean, Ashley Morgan, All-American. From year to year, how do you fit all the pieces together? I mean, you had a big group of returners, and then you welcome in some freshmen. I mean, how do you make those things work as you go along?
Yeah, our team right now is actually really widespread as far as our age and experience, which is great. I think it's really helped us. 5 seniors on the roster, 4 juniors, and then the sophomore class is the bigger class. That was a bigger freshman class last year. So there still is a lot of youth on the team, which is great for the future, I think. And I like to keep it spread out like that, so we're not taking a huge hit one year.
Right. So really, that's a key to building really a consistent program. Would you say, is making sure that you have that 4 to 5, 6 players.
Yep.
We know that freshmen. We do know that for them to be 4-year players, certainly we all want them to be 4-year players. But there are other things that come up, and we lose some along the way. But as you plan a freshman class, I mean, do you look for positions? Do you recruit for positions, or are you just looking for the best players?
No, I feel like in field hockey, a lot of times they'll come in and say, well, I played defense in high school, and I take that kind of like literally, but for the most part, I just see where they fit in. Right. I've had kids, recruited kids that play defense, and then they come play attack, or vice versa in college. So I don't really recruit by position. I think it's pretty much you fit in where you fit in, and that's what I tell recruits as well. So I just kind of, we want good players and good student athletes. So.
Right, and when you fit them into your system, this year you modified your system a little bit.
Yep.
Is that to play to the strengths of the players that you had, or is it because it's a system that you really want to play?
Yeah, it is to sort of, showcase what we have, but it also we're at kind of a different level now. I feel like we've moved up in our mental game, so I think we can add more of a little bit of a press to some of the teams we play. So the formation we're playing kind of helps that setup, and definitely gives us a lot of strength in the midfield, which we do have a lot of depth in the midfield. So
we have some pretty outstanding players, and we're going to meet a couple of them that are going to be here tonight on the show. So now we're here towards the end of the season. What kinds of things are you looking for now as we head towards tournament time?
Yeah, I mean, we're where we want to be. I think conditioning-wise, we're in good shape. I know last year we sort of peaked at the end. This year I think we're where we left off, which is what I told them at the end of the season. Like, we didn't want to start over again. Right. So we're where we left off, and I think we're being consistent right now, and I think we're okay to peak at the end again. I think that'll be great.
And the health has been relatively okay for us.
Yep.
I mean, the only player that we've really missed is Caitlin Bushnell, one of our senior captains. But again, you had a younger player that stepped into that role. I mean, who are some of the players that people should be watching for when they look at our website and see what's going on? I mean, who are some of the players? I
mean, our senior class is strong. I mean, with Kate out, defensively, it was a struggle in the beginning just to try and see who could fill in there. Jess Hodis and Steph Fisk have really done a phenomenal job back there for us on the defensive-minded end. And then the other two line with Ashley Morgan and Chelsea Remling, a sophomore and a junior, those two are phenomenal together. They work so well together. I think they cannot speak and know where each other are. Right. So just the passing and the stick skills that both of them have really help our forward line, and be able to move Ashley Johnson up to the forward line this year. She was a mid last year. Has really
and she's scoring some goals.
Yeah, and she's scoring a lot of goals, and her speed and stick skills up there are great. Yeah. So.
And then, of course, in the back, anchoring the whole thing is a sophomore goalie that we had returning, who played every game for us last year. Certainly helped her with experience.
Yeah.
And then we had a freshman who backs her up, who's gotten some playing time. And so what do you see between those two? I mean, they're both playing pretty well.
Yes. Yeah, it's great. I think Tess last year was our freshman starting keeper. A little nerve-wracking. Definitely just needed some game experience. She's got the game experience now, and Krista, our freshman keeper, is phenomenal. She's really pushing Tess, and I've talked to both of them. They have a great relationship, and it's almost like a relief that we've got two really good goalkeepers that could be in there at any time, and I think it's just kind of a relief for the team that if someone's having a bad day, it's still okay.
Do you think the Was it a smooth transition for last year for Tess, as a freshman? I mean, she's the goalie, and you had this experienced team. What kind of a transition was it for her to come in? I mean, did she take command back there and move people around where they need to be? I mean, because of course the goalie has to be kind of direct things. They see the whole field. Yeah,
I mean, she's always been a really vocal goalie, even as a freshman last year. Now I think she just understands a little bit better. So she's able to move people around and really see the big picture from behind. And that's helped a little bit with not having Kate in, because that was kind of Kate last year. She was kind of the director back there. Right. So with Tess really understanding what we're doing now, she's doing great with moving people around and having people step up or hold back when they need to.
Yeah, it seems like that watching, we had a lot of home games, in the kind of mid in September. Just watching the team seems like, the movement. Everyone kind of knows where they're supposed to be on the field, and they're moving well. And I mean, do you attribute that to the fact that they got a whole year, with this whole group? They came back. We didn't graduate that many players. I mean, do you think that really has a lot to do with it?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a lot of returning game experience, which is why we've been able to take it to the next level with our formation and just our mentality of how we were going to play, and adding a little bit of the press in there. I think it's just a matter of everyone gets it, and with only losing 2 last year, those spaces filled in easily with other players. So, well,
before we end, certainly I want to let everyone know out there that you were inducted into the Hartwick College Hall of Fame recently. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what's that like? What kind of an honor is that for you? I mean, certainly, individual accolades are always great, but I know you were such a team player watching you play.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for you as an athlete, former student athlete?
Yeah, it was great. I remember when I was a student athlete there, a former Hartwick player that I really looked up to was a local player as well, was inducted, and I went to that ceremony, and I really I was like, this is what I want. And it was a great honor. It was an awesome night, and kind of just was bittersweet for that, still highlighting my career. That's over, but
right.
It was a nice honor.
Feel strange though, maybe did you think you were that good? Hall of Famer?
I mean, I definitely, my senior year was amazing, and I think scoring 24 goals in one season and going almost to the Final Four it was great. And I think you need to be able to have your team do that well for you to do that well individually. So right. I think it was definitely a team award for me, because I couldn't have done it without my team there as well. So
right. Well, certainly great. I mean, great to watch you play. I got a chance to at least watch some of your games when you played us, and you're beating us back then, but kind of the different now. So well, certainly we hope you're healthy and everybody stays good, and we're good to go for the tournament, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Geoff.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Kelly Kingsbury for coming by tonight. And after the break, I'll be joined by the Ashley duo of Ashley Morgan and Ashley Johnson.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Where's my husband? Where's my husband?
Stop.
How's she doing? 2,
She was a passenger. I was T-boned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk. I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed? Well, sir, you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is senior captain Ashley Johnson and junior Ashley Morgan. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thanks.
How are things going?
Good.
Yeah? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Ashley Johnson, and I'm a senior from Saratoga, and I'm majoring in elementary education. I'm Ashley Morgan, and I'm a junior, and I'm from Putnam Valley, majoring in childhood education as well.
Now, of course, all-conference, all-American last year. You guys had a pretty great year. It was our best year in quite a few years, 14-7. I mean, how do you build on that kind of success after last year?
We had a lot of new people coming in this year, and I think we had a lot of experience. So I think we're just building on it, getting better each year, each game.
Right. Now, does it help? I mean, of course, we're talking to Coach Kingsbury about that big win over Cortland. I mean, we scored a goal with 30 seconds left. Game could have gone either way. It was a well-played game. I mean, both teams were, not a lot of shots. You guys were kind of maybe playing a little defensive maybe for a time there, just trying to see what you could get. We came out on top. I mean, how big of a win was that for us as a team?
It was an amazing win. It was just got everyone's heads up and excited about the year again, and then just giving us a chance in SUNY and hopefully host it.
Right, because of course that put us in the driver's seat. I mean, if we win out, or even if we lose a game, we still get the tiebreaker because we all assume that it'll be Cortland that'll finish, in that second spot, and obviously they're looking probably for a shot back at us here in the SUNY tournament. I mean, does it help that we'll be playing them here potentially?
Absolutely, yeah. Last year playing on their surface, took us a little bit to get used to. Obviously hate losing to Cortland.
Right.
So beating them was really good, and I think having that come back here, we'd have all of our fans and our surface, and I think we'd do well.
Now, you were a newcomer last year. You transferred in from a Division I program. Of course, you had a friend on the team, Megan Warning, who had an incredible year last year as well. She scored 17 or 18 goals, and it's almost like the Putnam Valley connection out there on the field most of the time. Transitioning from Division I to Division III, I mean, was it much of a transition?
I mean, it was a transition, but it wasn't that much. There was a lot of competition, and the girls have great skills on the team, and it was great playing with them.
Did it take you long to fit in, or?
No, because like you said, I had Meg, and then I met Ashley before, and I knew a couple of girls, so it was nice to play with them.
Now, how important is that for you guys to be leaders on our team? Because of course you're one of our captains, and I mean you're almost like a captain anyway because the way you play on the field. I mean, in your leadership roles, I mean, what kinds of things do you try to do for the program?
I mean, obviously on the field you try to lead the team the best you can, but I think we have a lot of leaders on and off the field. We all take criticism from one another, so.
Right. Now, how important is that to hear from some of the younger players and help you become better leaders?
It helps because not only are we helping to lead them, but they're helping us out on the field, and they're talking to us, so we're all just like bouncing off of each other, and it's great to not just have one player like, oh, you need to be here and taking orders from them, but everyone contributing.
Now, off the field, I mean, certainly, on the field is practice, focus, getting ready for games and things. Off the field, the team, I mean, how do we function as a team off the field?
We get along really well. We've had a lot of pasta parties and team parties. There's really been no drama between any of us, and I think that's helping our season a lot. Right,
which always is kind of an issue, if something happens. I guess you say like the drama that really is, it shouldn't be drama, and it seems like because you all are working so closely together on and off the field, maybe that kind of stuff just doesn't happen. I mean, do you think that there might be?
No, it definitely plays an important role because I think that off the field, if there's stuff going on, you're going to see it on the field, like whether it's them not passing or not talking. And so by having a great close relationship, it plays onto the field. We just know each other better.
And now every year when we welcome new freshmen to the mix, I mean, what's that like for you guys? I mean, yeah, you've got a year under your belt, and of course you've been 3-year starter for us. So I mean, what's it like to welcome newcomers?
I mean, especially this year, it was really easy. Everyone, as soon as they came in, we all just clicked. They're great girls. They do well. So.
Now, when Coach is recruiting and she has her overnight visits, I mean, do you guys get involved in any of that with some of the visits from the kids that come to campus?
Yeah, we definitely try to. We'll all go to dinner together or try to meet up and do a movie or something like that.
How important is that to meet potential
Yeah.
players?
I think it's important just to get to know them, and they get to know you, and you're trying to draw them in.
Right.
And then you know what you're like in for, kind of.
Now, what potential recruit? They ask you a question about how's academics here. What's your answer?
I've had a really good experience academically. As an education major, there's so many good classes. I've had great teachers. So.
Now, do you fill them in if somebody says, "Oh, I want to be in elementary education"? I mean, you kind of maybe fill them in on maybe how their 4 years may progress, with some of the classes they need to take?
Yeah, I try to as best as I can.
Yeah.
I'll try to tell them the good teachers to get or the best classes to take. So
right now, if somebody asked you a question about what's the campus life like?
I'd say it's good, it's fun, it's really welcoming. There's always things going on, like the Red Dragon Theater. I know girls on our team love going up there to watch the movies. There's just always events, and it's really welcoming. Now
that's important for an on-campus atmosphere, to be able to have things, because of course we know downtown is always an attraction for for many students or whatever. But I mean, having that, I mean, do you do it? Do you police that as leaders on the team? I mean, does everybody kind of on the same page when it comes to, we're in season, what kind of the rules are, team rules and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we definitely have a set of rules, and everyone follows them really well. And we also try to do a lot of things together, so no one even is tempted to do anything
on their own.
We'll go to the Red Dragon Theater, like she said, so things like that.
Now, do you do any other team building kind of things during preseason?
We do like a team run, which is like a scavenger hunt, and we'll have like a list for every things to do, and every player has something. We go running around town and take a picture next to it, and then create a story for our Kuman and then the assistant, Holly.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, is that part of it? I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, you got to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Or else it's not worth doing.
We definitely have fun a lot. There's a lot of funny girls on our team. We're always laughing. I mean, off the field, we're together a lot of the time, so.
Now, do you think that help stave off any potential problems? If you're big together, I mean, you don't have too many people that are kind of maybe out there on their own doing some stuff. I mean, I think that adds to the team chemistry as well.
We don't have to worry about them.
Right. Now, your 4 years, you're not done yet. You still have some student teaching to do and some of your other classes to finish up. Talk a little bit about your cumulative experience here as a student athlete.
I mean, I've had a fabulous experience. It's definitely bittersweet getting towards the end, but trying to take it day by day, game by game.
Right.
Get the most out of it as I can.
And what about, you got another year left, but certainly just in your 2 years here, I mean, what kinds of things would you point out as maybe some of the highlight things for anyone who's watching that may say, geez, I'm going to think about Oneonta?
Field hockey.
Field hockey.
I just love being a part of a team and just playing, and then, of course, the academics is there too. But
right. Now, as we go towards the season, we're off to a great start. We talked to Coach Kingsbury about our, we're 7-2 at the current time, and when this airs, we're probably going to be closer to tournament time. What are the keys as we get into the last month here?
We just have to keep up our intensity. If we keep doing what we're doing, we play really well as a team, keep up our passing, and I think if we keep that up, we'll be set for the rest of the season.
Keep practicing as hard as we have been by whether it's the field hockey part or the running part, then we'll be that much better in the end.
Important to stay healthy. What kinds of things do you guys do, like for off-season conditioning as you guys get ready? I mean, what kind of a program do we run here as far as the off-season stuff goes?
I mean, we have some weightlifting programs and certain running drills and stuff we do. We have a summer workout packet, and then we have practices in the spring season, obviously.
Now, was lifting anything that you were introduced to in high school, or did you? Of course, in Division I, I'm sure that's probably part of the whole, the whole deal at a Division I institution. But I mean, how important do you think that those kinds of programs are to making us better?
It just has your body ready, so you're not tired after playing 2 games on the weekends, and you're just ready to just keep going. Your body's fit and ready.
Right. And then again, stuff we all do together. We're all working together to try and for that one common goal, right? Our goal is to make the NCAA tournament, win the SUNY, make the NCAA tournament. And now, do you think that because we beat Cortland, that gives us an edge this year?
Cortland's always a tough game. That definitely picked our spirits up. We're ready to keep going. I think if we see them again, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough no matter what. But I think we'll be ready.
Yep, and we can't forget about the other SUNY schools we're playing.
Right.
Nothing's going to be easy. So.
Right. I mean, we play a couple on grass, Brockport and Geneseo on the road, which are always tough games. And then we have New Paltz, who's doing pretty well this year. There's never an easy game to get to that final destination. But we certainly know that the two of you will help lead us there. And you've great career. You're still got another year. And certainly now individual accolades, how important is, I mean, for yourselves? I mean, it just mentioned, all conference, all American. I mean, are those things great? It's nice to have, but really it's the team. I mean, what are those?
It's definitely a good feeling, but for me personally, it's more about just playing. I love to play. And being with the team, I don't know, just not as important as that, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'd rather go as far in the tournament as possible than get anything. I'd rather just see the team succeed and win a championship.
And it seems like, you know, when you're around the team, you know, when we get to see the games, it seems like that's kind of really the mode, you know, the mood of the team. Everybody is just there, you know, to play the game, the love of the game. You guys, you definitely look like you enjoy yourselves because you're always smiling. I mean, all the players, not just yourselves, but, you know, certainly we want to wish you the best of luck as you get towards the last month, and you know, hopefully we can go as far as we can. So I want to thank you for coming by tonight and joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ash. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to thank all my guests for tonight's show. Field hockey, certainly follow them all season long. They're into their last month of the season. They do, you know, we may host the SUNY tournament. We're certainly anticipating that we will. So please follow us on our website at www.oneontaathletics.com. And thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next time on Inside Red Dragon Sports.